Ronnie,
Is all
because
the
that's
plugs
not
in
our
there?
guidelines. That's not our
No,
guidelines.
tonight's the night to tell.
That's not our guidelines. 10.
It's 10. It's 10 first phase. 10. Huh?
With
I
12?
didn't hear that.
Well, it's more than 12 in here. It's still more than 12. Okay.
Thing on.
Okay, we have a minute, y'all.
So I know what I don't figure that. You looking at that clock on the computer, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never done it. I keep going, what is she looking at? She looking at.
And then I look at my watch,
And that thing is right.
right on it.
Where is the clock?
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call of a meeting to order of May 20th. May 2020, I'm sorry. May 21st, 2020. 7 p.m. Call to order. Invocation, Mr. Bowen, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Look, I'm glad there's not a preach here tonight because I'm going to give y'all a little devotion.
Okay.
Maybe about 2 hours. What do y'all think? But I know we got a lot of stuff on the agenda, but I want to share this with you real quick. Of course, you know, our plans and God's plans is never the same plan. And May 16th was Saturday, and that was supposed to be the weekend that I showed off Nottoway County to Virginia Association of Counties. And of course, you know, due to the COVID-19, all that changes. You know, a lot of my peers across the state of Virginia, they done dubbed me, well, this is going to be the first year we're not going to the homestead. They dubbed me home wrecker president, and another dub, now they call me the virtual president because we have meetings over the computer. But I wanted to, you know, my plan was to show off Nottoway, and I want to thank Mr. Rourke. He was even going to share his pond. When I was growing up, I felt like, and let me back up, it's a big divide in this country. It's a big divide, I think, across the Commonwealth. We even got a divide of when we're going to open up from COVID-19. Not everybody agrees on that. And when I was young, my grandfather, when we got to fussing and fighting my brothers, he would always take us fishing to make us stop fighting. And he loved fishing. Sometimes I think he instigated the fight so we could go fishing. So my plan was to take them, go on and show Nottoway, and then we were going to take them fishing. And I had bought all of them a cane pole. I'm still going to get them that. And but I did, since I couldn't do that, I went on and ordered these little fishing bobbers, and it says the County of Nottoway, Virginia. On this side it says 2020 VACO, and hopefully, you know, they can put it on a Christmas ornament or something. And I'm sure I said you can write COVID-19 on the bottom of it, whatever you want to do. But I don't think you're going to have to write down 2020 COVID-19 to remember. We always will remember it. But I will. One thing my grandfather did teach me, though, he said, never forget where you come from. Sherman Bond, I wouldn't be in that position if it weren't for you, sir. I know that you work behind the scenes. You got a lot of people together to vote for me. Helen Simmons went down there and put the motion on the floor. And when I got elected, it meant a lot to me, especially with somebody like you and that loves this county as much as you do, that you went down there and worked hard to get me to become president. So this is the first Bible to come out. Sir, I want to go to you, and I'm going to thank you, and I'm going to shake your hand. Come here, shake my hand. I'm not going to kiss you. But anyway, so let's go to the Father. Lord, we do thank you for all that you do for us. And, you know, here it is, Memorial Day coming up, and we're celebrating that time. Father, we lift up all the soldiers and many of them who just lost their life for this country. I think about all the leaders before us, the servant leaders of Nottoway County. We're leading a lot on money this year that we're pulling out of the general fund. That money wouldn't be there if it weren't for them, and we thank you for that. And I thank you for people like Sherman who has loved this county as long as he has and served it as he has. And Lord, now we just ask you to be with us and guide us, and through Jesus Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. Stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I have an announcement to make. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we will be our first try at broadcasting of a board meeting across the internet. YouTube will carry this meeting live on the Nottoway County, Virginia. We will also have a recorded copy of our meetings available for future viewing through a link on the county website. Tonight will also be our first real test of the equipment. Summit is just adjusted a few hours ago. Please be patient if things aren't exactly up to television standard, but we will do our best to allow everyone at home to see and hear their local government in action. Thanks. Okay. You have your agendas before you. May I have an approval, please?
I make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented. That's something different I don't know about.
A second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. We have the minutes from several meetings that I need approval for, please.
Madam Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes from January the 9th, February the 13th, February the 24th, March the 12th, and March the 13th. Shall we receive and adopt?
Yes.
I would abstain from that vote since I was not present at any of those meetings.
Okay, all right. All right.
Therefore, I'll second it then.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, the ayes have it. We have, okay, delegation from the public. Miss Susan Christensen.
Oh, I wrote Christian, I meant to write Yates, sorry. Did I write Christian on there?
Yes, you did.
I meant to write Yates. Can I move this? I'll just, will it fall off? That's good. Okay, I'm here tonight making my last plea to this board in an effort to fully fund PSR. I know that it is your intent to only fund $7,000. The citizens were told last week that the reason you felt that $7,000 was ample was because you believed that Justine Young of PSR and Ms. Royal were only asking for $5,000 due to a letter recently sent to the board by Judge or by Ms. Royal. In fact, that letter did not state what you told us it stated. So I'm here tonight to share with you and the public what it actually said. Paragraph 1 states, I urge you to increase funding. This is the letter from Ms. Royal. I urge you to increase funding to PSR for the upcoming fiscal year. She goes on to say, while I know these are trying and uncertain times for all of us, the elderly population is particularly vulnerable to suffering during the COVID-19 pandemic. Not only are seniors more likely to be hospitalized and even die if they're infected with the virus, there is currently an increased need for home-delivered meals due to the governor's stay-at-home order. Ms. Royal went on to say that Prince Edward is doubling their contribution to $12,000. Her closing paragraph cites the following, I hope you will continue Nottoway's forward progress of increasing funding toward meeting our 10% match. At a minimum, doubling our current commitment from $25,000 to $5,000. The citizens were led to believe that full funding was therefore not necessary. This statement in no way states that they are giving their blessing for this lesser contribution, but rather it is a plea to do at least that minimum, and it adamantly tells us how vulnerable our seniors are. So I wanted you to know exactly who I wanted to know exactly who the beneficiaries of this program are. In my research, this is what I learned. Out of 422 citizens in Nottoway served by this program, the demographics are as follows: 52.63 black, 35.34 white, 8.65 unknown percentage-wise, 3.38 are listed as other. According to this data, it is our elderly minority population who are most at risk. Therefore, I believe that this county needs to reevaluate the position they are taking by not fully funding this program. We should ask ourselves if underfunding PSR is protecting the most vulnerable in our county. Our elderly deserve the maximum support from this board because they have given a lifetime to this county.
Thank you, Ms. Christensen. Well, I have to go by what's on the card here. Okay, is that all? All right. Public hearings and presentations?
We have none.
Okay. Departmental reports? Ms. Bryan?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, good evening.
It seems like it's been quite a while since I've been here.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm hoping that everyone has stayed well throughout the last couple of months that we have been absent from here, and I'm hoping for positive things in the future. I just wanted to go over a few things that we've had going on over the last couple of months. I don't know if any of you have traveled 723, but we have started some of the guardrail installation that was recommended through the study. Right now, they're installing 3 locations. We got them prioritized by the consultant that did the study. So that's the way that they are being installed. And as more money becomes available, we'll continue to install the guardrail along Route 723 as it was recommended by our consultant. We repaired some pipes under Route 460 over the last couple of months. We are working on the real rustic. I don't know if any of you have been through there, Route 664, Dusty Road. That road is actually going to receive milling material as the base on part of it as a project that we're doing in coordination with the Research Council. So we're excited to see how that does. But anyway, we're looking to put the milling material down on that project probably next week, and within the next, before I come back to the next meeting, that project will be finished. So the surface treatment in the county is complete. We still have some roads that need pavement marking. The latex schedule is complete, which latex was actually what was put up there on 307. I know Route 360 and Route 460 between here and the Prince Edward County line, there's been a lot of public interest in that. That is what they call cold-in-place recycling. And a company from out of state was subcontracted to do that. And what you see there on 360, that's not the final layer. There's actually another layer that goes on top of that. But there's so many different things that have to be in place for that to go down effectively. You know, we're looking to see what may have gone right, what may have gone wrong, but that is not the finished product yet. 460, if you go down 460, that looks really good, where we had the same material put down. So we've also started mowing. We've got contract mowing and state mowing. I know there was some issues with grass being in the road, and you know, we do have criteria in our contracts where the contractor is supposed to remove the grass from the road, but they're also not supposed to be mowing when it's raining. A lot of times the grass is blown off by vehicles, and we get the larger part of the grass off, so it's not a safety issue, but we do address that with our contractors. So, and for our secondary 6-year plan, that's been a challenge this year. There was money in the very last year of the plan, and what we're doing in many of the other counties and here as well is put the money to add a new project at the very end of the plan in a line item called Future Secondary Road Projects. So the money's still there, it's just not designated to a particular route. So when we come back next year, instead of having money in the last year of the plan, you'll have money in the last 2 years of the plan to add a new project. But, Good Hope Road, Route 631, that one was finished, so that one will come out of the plan. Route 664, which is Dusty Road, that one is kind of iffy because it's going to finish before the plan, but we've already finished our Gen Mod is the program that we call that we enter that in. So that's still going to show in the plan, but it will be completed this year as well. So, does anybody have anything for me?
I do.
Okay.
Thank you for addressing the grass issue. Yesterday was a serious issue out on a couple of roads, and I want to thank Curtis Shepherd with VDOT. He got all over that. The county got all over that. The sheriff was all over that, and the troopers were out there. And I appreciate the response because the conditions were pretty horrible. So I appreciate what y'all done with that. The other thing I got is on we have a lot of citizens concerned about some high-speed traffic on Melody Lane. From what I understand, over a weekend, that the Crew Police Department may have wrote some tickets or something on there, but it seems to be some lunchtime traffic that's going on. My curiosity, I was asking for a couple of the citizens on that road, what is the process of getting one of those remote radar trailers? You follow what I'm talking about?
Yeah, VDOT doesn't do that. That's usually the localities.
Okay, all right, because I sat on that road, and I know it's nothing to VDOT, I just wanted to ask, because I don't know the process with that, so I just want to make sure that.
Well, I think there was some, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe that there was a request for a speed study on Melody Lane a couple of years ago. I would have to look to see, but I don't think a reduction in speed was warranted there, but I can check and make sure.
And it's unfortunate, it's construction traffic, running up the road trying to get lunch. So that's what it is. I actually sat on one of the roads over there, and it was pretty serious. So, and it's inside the town's corporate limits there, so I'm just trying to figure out what we can do to keep the citizens safe over there. But thank you, and again, thank Mr. Shepherd and the local VDOT, state police for their response to that issue yesterday. Wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dana.
Yes, ma'am.
Good to see you.
It's nice seeing you too.
Well, quick question on it. Well, on that, do we need to do anything with that other information you gave us down about, well, you sent it to John on Monday, March 23rd, John Forsyth, about the priority of roads?
That was, what I sent was the list of the traffic counts for the unpaved roads.
Yeah, right, okay.
And, you know, what we felt like were good candidates to add. I think that was kind of before all of this other,
Okay, so just
started
put that off to
taking-
the side right now, okay.
yeah, because there's not really a good way to have a public hearing for the six-year
gotcha.
plans and all that, so, but that's what that was, for you all to take a look at that and for us
And
to
I agree with
discuss it
your
at the
priorities.
work
I mean, I
session.
see VDOT recommended priority 1, priority 2, priority 3.
Yeah,
That was
those are our recommendations, because a lot of times our counties ask us what we recommend.
Yeah,
and-
that's a good idea, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. Thank you, Diane.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Rock?
It's different.
Yes.
We'll get it done. You have in your package the school board information, and there are 2 budget adjustments at the end of it. The first is for professional development, Region 8 professional development grants, $5,000. The second is VPI, that's Virginia Preschool Initiative Incentive Program for $3,020, and there are 3 of them. And then the state unidentified practice for minority teachers of $25,590.70. You would need to take action to approve those.
Madam Chair, I make a motion, we approve all three of those budget agendas, without, I'm not sure I can do my math in front of everybody here, but, when you add it up.
I second that motion.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you.
Years ago, and I expect Mr. Vaughn remembers when the Health Department furnished this report every month, and they've started back to doing it. So that's your Health Department reports in your package. The jail, regional jail information's in your package, and we had a meeting of the jail board yesterday meeting some people at several places, and they adapted the budget for the year. Also said that the residents were going down because with this virus, they're unable to take federal prisoners, and so we are the leading user of the jail of the 6 counties. So if the population goes down, the expenses don't go down much, so cost going up.
Okay, you had economic development on there too. Economic development,
There will not be a meeting this month.
okay.
Landfill, I have the monthly waste reports in your package. In February, we did 51.42 tons a day, and March, we did 61.88. That's about a third less than we were doing before we got the before we had the attendance at the sites. We were 90-odd tons a day before we started that. So. All right. We had a
It's a big difference.
status report on groundwater sampling was in your package. That's just for your information. We also had a inspection. It was in March, and he had a warning letter, and that was because they was zinc. And we had the engineer to check that, and was in the soil. It wasn't what we were doing, it was in the soil. And that, the second letter, the next letter there explains that to them, so. We are, no action at all, no. No, they're not wanting to whip us yet. We have a training certificate for two of them exactly, for training certificate for Darshawn Qualls. We are trying to get him to take the exam and hopefully become a certified landfill operator. That's what this is all about.
All right.
You have a review of the 18 and 19 annual reports for the landfill, and the next item is the response from Draper Hayden, and we are all right with that, with annual reports now. Next one is a letter to Jamie. Jamie Jenkins, and his contractor that did the new cell. And there were some items that needed to be repaired, and this is calling him to come back and
fix them.
So he will. We are planning probably to put trash in the new cell in the next 2 weeks. So we will still be using the old cell some for the rougher materials, but we need to go over the bottom of it with I don't know whether it's a good word, clean trash, but household waste, I guess, okay? Okay, yeah, and then unfinished business, Madam Chair?
Yes.
You had in your package a letter that was written to us, and we responded asking questions from the town of Blackstone about the disposal of the waste from the old intermediate school. And they said they will provide a certificate from a qualified asbestos engineer, and they estimated the cubic yards at 3,025, and they also, the town intends to deliver all materials to the Nottaway County landfill. It is our contention that the masonry can be recycled locally, and if Nottaway County chooses that option, that the county be responsible for the cost associated with the recycling. I don't know where you could recycle them locally, I have not looked. But when I first talked to Mr. Van Orbeck, it was my understanding that the brick would not go into the landfill, so that's where that is.
Okay.
Y'all want to discuss that?
Any discussion?
We determine what the cost of the recycling will be.
I don't know. No, it's a lot of brick.
The letter didn't really specify, does the town intend for the county to coordinate the logistics involved with recycling, or the town going to do that?
I believe they're expecting the county to do that, yes.
I believe, I had a conversation with them, I believe that they were looking at possibly a portable crusher, bringing it into, town and crushing the rock. Is the only thing that I found out, but yes, I believe that's the same impression that I was given, that they were gonna try to recycle the brick.
We have used a portable crusher once before, and that was when we were doing the Arbitech project. We had, there was some machinery there, and we brought in a portable crusher and crushed it, and they used it on their lot. It was, instead of buying gravel, so that
The
was.
little company, Yardworks sells crushed brick. I don't know if they'd be interested, if it's something that we could look into.
I don't know, we can look into it and see, and I can get a price from, the guy I believe came from Suffolk that we used before, and if he's still in business, we can get a price.
Okay, yeah.
Madam Chair,
yeah.
In my opinion, all three of my children went to Blackstone Primary, and in my opinion, it was blight then, and it's blight now, so anything we can do to help Blackstone clear that place up down there, I think we should try to do it. Whether
Okay.
we're waiving, but anyway.
Mr. Vaughn?
It's the school board's, that's the school board decision.
Right. They gotta surplus it, right? Mr.
Yeah.
Wood? The school board, they have to surplus it, I'm sorry, I got a thing away from, the school board,
I don't think so. I think they didn't say it was surplus, they said it was obsolete, I believe.
That's correct.
well, that's a using
Have I read
another
surplus?
term.
It says obsolete.
They did not surplus it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know how any other board members feel, but I think it's, I'm okay waiving it, and I like the idea that he's trying to, what I'm reading here, the town manager is actually trying to get rid of other stuff like the brick and mortar somewhere else, and they're giving us some type of estimate there of how many cubic yards, 3,000 cubic yards, I think.
Their original request was that we absorb the cost of it, no fee, no tipping fee for the 3,000 yards.
That's off cubic yards, we get it off the weight, correct?
Do it off of weight, it's about 1,200 pounds a cubic yard.
I mean, I'd be fine with waiving it too. I mean, I think they would, if that's what the town wants to do, and
Who,
well, I was gonna say, the only thing I have questions, concerns about is if we can recover any of the costs for tipping, through the recycling or something like that, that'd be the only other thing I would look into, but I feel like, if the town's got a formal plan, I could deal with that.
whose territory is it?
Is that you? Is that you?
No, that's,
That's
That
Lynn?
Lynn?
it splits.
It splits?
It's with Lynn, yeah.
For one thing, are they even asking in this letter that we waive
They did in the original letter.
The original, yeah.
Would you like me to get more information about the cost involved and the logistics of the recycling and then report back?
Yes,
Are we fine?
that would be good. Thank you. Okay, new business? Well, we still have the unfinished adoption there.
We the adoption of the 2021 budget, I have that in front of you. The result of the work session took $270,000 out of the general fund balance and put that in for fire and rescue. And you said you would meet with the fire chiefs and captains to determine how it was to be distributed. and you said that was a one-time expense. Then you you transferred 4584 from your general fund balance to steps to make that, that was their request. Then you transferred from the general fund balance to maintenance at the courthouse to fund cleaning and disinfecting the court facilities after each court date. And the first day was yesterday. And the addition from the work session was $334,584. And before the work session, $401,692 was coming from the general fund balance for a total of $736,276. We added $334,584 to the budget total, which was the new money coming out to general fund balance. And the balance to be approved is $37,792,257, and the rates as advertised. Set the levy as advertised.
Okay.
Okay. Madam Chair, the 270 transfer, that, we agreed that that would be a one-time transfer.
Correct.
Am I right, Mr. Bowen?
Yeah, but I,
So
make
we
sure
don't
I'm
have
right
to-
on that, yeah, I agree, but I think we said that we would do a public hearing about the 3 cent.
I don't believe you did. You never did make a motion, take any action for that.
Oh, I didn't?
No.
What in the world was I
You
doing?
didn't make a motion, but you didn't, it was a work session. You
We
couldn't make a
Work section, we
You
couldn't.
couldn't, so you have to do it now.
Oh, okay, no wonder, that makes sense now, okay.
Yeah, okay.
So, Madam Chair, so let me ask Mr. Roy, we can speak freely and ask this question, and so, I like that idea that the Budget Committee and the, staff had come up with the earmarking the 3 cent. How do we include this in this, motion, and how does that have to happen? Do we have to do, public hearing?
Let me say this.
If you put it into this budget, you've got to have a public hearing on that. If you don't put it in there, you can adopt the budget.
But I got it, since we.
Okay, let me say this, Mr. Bowen, this might give you a little clarity. We have a study going on. We agreed to a study, and we were waiting on the results of that study before we did a dedicated funding source.
And this $270,000 was
Was for this
mathematically where the
year.
3 cent come from, how we were thinking.
That's for this year.
Right.
Okay. I'm
You
clear.
okay?
I'm clear.
All right, so I move that we approve the budget for $37,792,257. And we've already approved, now we need to approve the levy,
The levy.
as we have advertised. That's my motion.
All right, may I have a second?
And we'll deal with the, after we get the study back, we'll deal with the dedicated funding, which will be in next year's budget for that.
All right, I'll second it.
Okay. Roll call, please.
The motion is to adopt the budget as I have described it, to set the levy as advertised, and to wait till the study comes in to look at the rate setting for the fire and rescue.
That's right.
Mr. Roy? Aye. Mr. Bowen?
Aye.
Mr. Bone?
Yes?
Ms. Shackleton? Aye. Ms. Simmons?
Yes.
Motion was 5-4, none opposed.
Congratulations, Madam Chair. I don't think, I won't respecting that.
This is one budget I'm glad is over.
Yes.
Tell you that.
Already written the letter. It would be good if you would put it in the minutes that I was authorized to. Okay. Retroactive. Her question was, did you need to take action about requesting this study? I have written a letter, but I would like for the board to put it in
Okay.
the record.
Okay, so it'll be in the record, okay.
And for the record too, Mr. Rourke, I would like for us to schedule that work session as soon as possible with the emergency services. My understanding is some of them maybe in some financial situations. So, you know, to get that discussion started now.
Money's not available July. But
Right, gotcha. But I think we can start talking now.
All right.
Mr. Bowen, you and I are on the Emergency Services Committee. Do you want the
Yes.
committee to work, or you want the whole?
Oh,
Yes. You all serve on that committee.
yeah, that's right.
They,
Well, why don't we-
they might talk a little freer with us.
Yeah,
than-
so we'll stick with the committee and report that back to the board.
That's good.
All right. Cost allocation plan. This is a plan that
Did we
we
make-
have the auditor to do every year, and
What you say?
it assigns the cost of our general government into the different departments. We bill social services through the regular means, and we all have been billing the school board for their part is $215,861. We normally appropriate that amount of money to the school fund and then bill them for it, and we get credit for it on the cost report, annual school report.
Madam Chair, where is Mr. Rourke located right now? I mean, I know he's there, but where
It's right here.
You haven't got my papers this time.
Okay.
I don't have that in front, do I?
No.
Okay.
Well, you done got mixed up.
I see it 215,861. All right, I got lost. All right, so
We need a motion.
yeah, I'll make a motion that we got to appropriate 215,000
And bill the school.
and bill the schools. Gotcha.
I second that.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. All right.
All right, we have $34,506 from the fire programs, and that needs to be distributed, and we normally do it 1/3 for each department.
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, Mr. Rourke.
You have a memorandum of understanding between the Marine Corps and the county and the Sheriff's Department. They want to do some exercises in the county, and they designate the places on there where they'll be doing the exercises. They're in September, October, I believe. And they have done those exercises before in our county, but it's always been in the towns. So this time they're going to be out in the county. And it's a 3-year agreement, and we should help our military.
You need a motion?
Yes, authorize me to sign it.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right.
For the Southside Virginia Community College on appointment, and you have the letter in front of you, and Wes Shepherd has served for a 4-year term. Mr. Shepherd lives in Ms. Shackleton's district. She lives on, I'm trying to think what street it is. I believe it's Brunswick Avenue, I believe it is, and he's employed at the Touchstone Bank in South Hill, goes to the Presbyterian Church, so that makes him pretty good. So he would like to be real.
I see you threw that in.
Know him well. He's married and has 2 children. He's a real nice guy.
Okay.
Normally, the person from that district would make the
Appoints
motion.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I second it. You got it.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
Frankie Williamson's term on the Planning Commission has expired at the end of March. He's in Mr. Bones' district.
On the planning commission.
What's that?
Frankie Williamson term has expired on the planning commission. He's in your district.
I so move that we reappoint Frankie.
Okay, I'll second that.
Mr. Williamson, I should.
Yeah. I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you.
Ms. Joanne Branch has completed the payments on her house. She was in one of the District 1 projects, and we would like for you to authorize the county attorney to release the deed of trust.
So move. Madam Chair.
Okay, all right. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you.
We've been fooling with this next thing, is contract with AT&T and CenturyLink, and it's $184,000, and it is a part of the Next Generation 911, which, if you remember, we had the presentation months ago, and they said it was going to be $400 and I believe $38,000 to do it, and that the wireless board and others were going to pay all of it. The county was not going to put anything into it. We can't find where this $184,000 is supposed to be reimbursed from, so I would like for you to pass by that until we can find out where we need to get the money back from.
Okay, we can table that till next meeting.
All right. The mayor crew has asked for you to have a meeting between the towns and the fire and rescue after this COVID-19 business is over, and kind of critique what we did right and what we did wrong. So I guess you're going to wait a while before you can
Yes.
do that, because it's not over yet, so.
Yeah, that's the problem. You know, we had that conversation today with the Virginia Association of Counties. You know, where are we at? Where are we in this COVID-19? And you know, like I mentioned, somebody else that me and the mayor there in Burkeville, it's like he said. You know, we had a discussion. I said, you know, are we in the 7th inning stretch and the game's not over? You know, everybody's trying to come out. So, but that's going to be the problem, Mr. Rourke. And when are we going to say how many people has to? What's the threshold? How many people's going to, nobody, people will always die. So I don't, that's something that, I don't know, I don't get it, man.
I'm not going to tell you who told me, but a person from another county told me today that if everybody had to either be vaccinated or have the disease, it would take 114 years. So, you know, think about that.
Yeah, right.
You don't know what it's going to do, and
But I'm all for what Mary Eanes is, I guess he's going through like a critique ourselves, you know?
right.
But we'll have to wait
I
and do
will
it.
write him and tell him we will plan that as the things get better and then things open up good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I put us by 2024. I don't know. I'm leery of
All
it.
right, and the solar farm, that's from Robert Crockett, and he's trying to get you to pay a $5,000 fee to be a part of a group to help you with legislation about solar farms. I haven't heard any other county that was interested in that. No.
Okay, Leon, just pass it.
Pass it back. All right, we had $100 contribution to it's supposed to go to the shelter fund, and they write the checks to Nottaway County. We have to put them in our treasurer, and then we have to write a check to the CARES group. So I'd like to, it's $200. Two $100, yes.
Okay,
That's so
so
We need
to appropriate that.
authorization to write $200 check to CARES group.
Okay, you move, may I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, all right, thank you. All right, constitutional officers, Ms. Brown, Sheriff Jones. Okay, Ms. Myatt, Ms. Hudson, Ms. Waldron, anything?
Good evening. My
Good evening.
apologies for wearing the mask. As Mr. Work said, court's
That's okay.
opened this week, and
That's okay.
dealing with the public quite a bit more now that we have court open. I'd like to start by thanking you all and the county for doing the sanitizing of the courtrooms between court dates. I know I appreciate that, and I have no doubt that our citizens, and the court and likely even the sheriff's office appreciate that as well.
Oh, you're welcome.
I got it in very late, it was today, but you all should have a letter from me about,
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Ms. Walters. Oh, Lynn, let me get you.
Got it this afternoon, so.
yes, yeah, I turned it in very late, I do apologize for that.
There you go. Yes, ma'am.
I submitted this letter, as many on the board know, we have had some issues with mold and moisture in the office, being in the basement. Back in July of last year, when I moved into Terry Royal's former office, I had some issues of mold, same place that she had had her diploma when that issue came up in 2018, along with another area by an outlet in the wall. Reported it, county went ahead and sanded off the mold, put some plaster on it. I painted over with a mold-resistant paint. Unfortunately, that has not seemed to work. When I moved some furniture around in December, located by one of those outlets, you should have pictures in there, some significant, in my mind, water damage. I do believe there to be mold behind there. That's in one of the same areas where we had sanded, or the county had sanded before. At one point in August, there had been some sort of water leak or issue after one of the heavy rains, after we had not had much rain, that got the carpet pretty wet, but that seems to have been fixed, but I'm still dealing with this in the office. You know, I am concerned for the health and safety of those in my office, visitors to my office. It's my understanding after I brought this over today that a contractor did come look at the wall, and hopefully within a couple weeks will be fixing it.
Okay.
I would appreciate the county and the board, you know, taking it seriously. I do think it's a serious health issue. I worry somewhat about a fire issue. There is moisture that is still, when I took that plate off to take those pictures, at the top of one of them you can see there's a little wet spot, and that sort of light paint is the new paint, so that is new since July. And at some point in the summer after painting, even the receptacle boxes had to be replaced, because when we took it off, we realized the bottom of them had rusted out. There's a lot of water that comes in that, so I'd ask the county to please look at that and help me fix it.
Okay. And you, Mr. Rourke, you said you had someone come in? Okay.
All right. I asked a contractor to come and look at that, and I was waiting for him to get back in touch with me, and got tied up in this virus and didn't call him. I called him today, and he came and looked at it. This is a major problem. Now, this water is going through a wall, and it's below grade, so it's 4 or 5 foot down. We're gonna have to dig it. We're gonna have to dig that wall, dig it out and clear that wall, clean the wall. We're gonna have to cut asphalt, and we're gonna have to take up those pavers to seal that wall off. It's coming through the wall and through an electrical receptacle.
Okay.
We'll do,
Go ahead and make a motion for RFP for this.
What were you saying, Mr.
I was
Rourke?
just saying to Mr. Rourke, do what you need to do to get that situation remedied.
Yep,
That's what we need. It needs to be remedied.
because it's been going on for a while, and,
You don't need, just go ahead and do it.
yeah, just fix it.
Well, how about this, Madam Chair? Why don't we, and I'm not kicking the can down the road, don't take us wrong, I want the board to be involved, and that's why I'm doing it. Why don't we refer this to the courthouse landfill committee? And, because I think we're gonna get into details, you know, can she stay in there while we work, or we're gonna have to relocate? You see, that's the thing, we're gonna start really getting in deep, and it needs to get done, Ms. Walters, I'm not kicking it, right. So, can we refer that and
Yeah,
then
sure
have
we can.
meetings, and then we'll keep it on the agenda and let people know what's happening?
What the progress is, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I would just ask that we try to do it
Who's on that
quickly,
Quickly, I
because it
get it.
has been going on for a while.
Okay,
And I purposely didn't hang things, because I didn't want to end up here just like Ms. Royal had to with mold on diplomas, so.
Okay, Ms. Waters, we'll get it
Who was
fixed.
on that
Thank
committee,
you.
Steve?
I think we had to
So it would be Lynn, it was,
was it me and Lynn?
Was-
Me and Noel first, I think.
okay, so it'd be you and Lynn.
Okay.
Okay.
On that, oh, by the way, you don't know you're on this committee.
Courthouse committee.
Congratulations, you don't speak up, girl, you're on a committee. It's called Courthouse and Landfill Committee.
I keep telling them, but I'm missing them.
Okay,
All right.
Mr. Rourke.
You have the consent calendar, I believe.
I move that we approve the consent calendar.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Informational items?
In your package, if you have no questions, we're gonna move on.
Move on, yep.
All right. The building inspector's report's in your package, and that's 3 months, I believe, and it's got erosion and sedimentation report in one of those. Animal control officer's reports in your package, that also has 3 months. I ran into a little problem with one person out because she's being tested for the virus, and the other one got worn out, and so I had asked Amelia County to stand in for us today and tomorrow, and they were glad to do it, and as always, they stand by you when you need help.
Okay.
The next is a test for mold, and there was no mold in the Commissioner of Revenue's office, but if you remember, that's when I took a tumble out the door, and I've been having trouble since March the 3rd or something, 10th or something. The delinquent tax collection from Mr. Elliott, $433 and $599. And for Ms. Shackleton's, for her knowledge, they charge this back to the property when they sell the property. Okay. All right. The copy of the writ of election from Judge Sella said November the 5th. With that,
Okay.
we have some surplus property that needs to be disposed of from the Commissioner of Revenue's office. It's not worth anything. We'll just carry it to the landfill. The report on the sign maintenance. The sheriff has written a letter asking for authority to pay people that have an amount of leave in the dispatches, and he needs the dispatches, so he would like for you to authorize that to be paid in their June payroll.
May I have a second?
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay,
You
any
did-
opposed? Okay.
Okay. Did we do Mr. Elliott's?
Can I get
Okay.
too fast for you?
I move that we pay Mr. Elliott $433
$599.
and $599.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
We need to set a public hearing for June, and that would be to amend the budget for 2021 and to add the CAS Coronavirus Relief Fund. We will receive $1,328,933. And the money has to be spent by December 31st, so if the board I would like for the board to go on and appoint a committee to kind of guide us and work with us in how we're going to spend this money. December's coming fast, so we need to get onto it. So.
Okay,
What is that now, the COVID?
that's the grant for
It's a coronavirus relief fund,
release fund.
Okay.
$1,328,000.
You think that's coronavirus causing the leaks over there in the, well, how do you feel? I know, I'm asking a lawyer. What am I doing, a Commonwealth attorney?
You need to ask Ms. Simmons and me and Katie. We had to sign for this.
Oh, they ain't gonna sign. Casey, I'm not going to jail with you, Steve.
I'd love to volunteer, but I don't yield to whoever.
Well, I would like for, since my name is on it, since my signature is on it, I think I'd like to serve on that committee, and I actually like for Ms. Shackleton to serve on there if possible with me.
But, and I'll tell you, my ideas of it now, that, you know, we need to make the county whole first, and make the towns whole, make the fire departments whole, and make the rescue squad whole, and then we need to talking to the,
Fully agree, yes.
to the people about that. But those things need to be done
Done
first.
first.
And there's some money available through the Farm Service Agency for farmers, and if anybody wants any information, they can call 392-4906, and this is a sizable amount of money like the one we got.
Okay.
And this is for farmers' aid, so.
Okay. All right. You need a motion. Did we do
To
it
form
all?
that committee?
Do we need a motion for the committee? Yes.
I second that motion.
Okay. And the hearing?
Yeah, so moved, all in a.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right.
Did we do the letter from Sheriff Jones?
Yeah.
We
Okay,
did.
Okay. What amount was that? I see the amounts, but I didn't see the total.
It's not a total here.
Okay.
Okay. Now, communications from the board. Mr. Vaughn?
I don't have anything.
Ms. Shackleton? Mr. Bowen?
Just one, if we could, on that that other committee, what is it, Courthouse Landfill Committee, maybe, I don't think, it just hit me. I know Noel had been down here working some, or had understand that. Maybe the first step would be, maybe the committee, if you could, Ms. Walters, if you could show us, you know, do us another, I guess it's a mold tour, you know, but water damage tour. Yeah, and then maybe, but can we set up where the contractor comes in here, and they can discuss, we can be part of that, Mr. Yeah. You with me? While the contractor walk us through it, if you find a contractor, walk us through it and tell us what it's all gonna take, and let us be part.
You're not gonna know until you get in there.
Yeah, I know, I get it.
It may be one hole, and I know that wall was sealed when it was put in
Yeah.
there, to put that black stuff.
We had a,
We may, if we have to move,
but it's amazing, like, the house that I used to live in at Piedmont, Building 13, that basement got real wet, and we hired a company to come in, and actually, what they do is go inside the building and go under the concrete and
Dig it
drill
all
and
up.
make the water go to the outside of the building. It's costly,
Yes.
but in that house now, we store our computers,
It works.
so it's dry. It's real dry. But, so it will work, but it's not, I agree with you, it's not cheap. But anyway, but they can,
It's gonna be expensive.
right.
but it's got to be
And you
done.
might, and I think that might be deeper than a regular basement.
Well,
It's pretty deep.
It's kind of half, about half of it, of that room she's in is out of the ground.
And then that was the other thing, and we probably owe you too for hazard pay, because I heard you had to lift up Mr. Rourke when he fell down there too. Okay. Okay, right. That's all I got, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Roy? John Roy? Mhm.
Just a couple things. The insurance brokers that was coming for the work session, they called and requested on our next work session if we would invite them. These were the ones that had some options for possible.
Okay, for our June work session?
Yes, ma'am. And then maybe on that work session, if possibly we could discuss the old house across the street, about going ahead and, if we're gonna remove that, tear that down. And then, the only other thing I had was, there were some, complaints over the weekend about, some animal calls in Blackstone. And the situation was, animal control was called, they told that it was a police department issue, the police department said it was animal control issue, and animal control basically said that, they would get there when they could. So, this was on the weekend, and I know Mr. Roy hasn't
John,
The mayor.
the mayor.
If I may, Madam Chair.
Oh, I can't see, you can see you behind that.
Mr. Rourke, I contacted Mr. Rourke, and what it was is we had an animal control officer that was on another call. But if one was listening to the scanner that day, and several people had commented to me about it, it sounded like a pass the buck tennis match, but it wasn't that. The officer was involved with a dog biting crew, and the dogs were running loose and biting, but the police officer was saying, call animal control. Animal control kept saying, it's a law enforcement matter. And I sat down and lose my mind, but it's all good.
Okay, all right. So it's all taken care of. Thank you, thank you.
It was confusing to read that thing. It was confusing to read that thing.
All right. Is that it?
Ms. Shackleton, did you?
Ms. Shackleton? I did, I called Ms. Shackleton. Yeah. Okay. With that, thanks everyone for coming. Happy Memorial Day. Stay safe. Keep your social distancing, and if I could call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor? Second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we're adjourned.
Oh, yeah, you,
Yeah, it's reading
you put it in your bathroom. That's where mine used to go. Yeah, you want that? Yeah, you don't want that in the bathroom.
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, it was actually,
Steve, if push come to a shove, you have the Burkeville School that you can move her to.
Otherwise, there'll be a special.
They got plenty of space
You're right.
that's
while
right.
they're working, yeah.
But you remember, y'all remember?
And just a
wait a
thought,
minute.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk.
Hey, Katie,
just a thought, that's all.
Yeah, that's right. That's good.
we are? Yes. Okay, okay.
But that's a
good.
good point.
Yeah, that would be good.
But I remember too that, Mayo when Miss Roy was in there, it was an issue about getting to the courthouse, you know what I'm saying?
Mr.
So
Roy?
It can't be long, you know what I mean? We have to.